If you're building an app and you want to know where your users are, we aim to make that really easy. My co-founder and I met at Foursquare back in 2012, so we've been thinking about location for a while. We launched a few months ago. We have a few hundred developers that have signed up, and they're using Radar to process millions of locations per day, so we're really excited about the traction that we're seeing so far. So why is location interesting? What is the opportunity here? The best apps are using location to build better products. So think about a couple examples. Starbucks is using location to power order ahead and show you places that are nearby. Foursquare, if you guys use Foursquare, is using location to know when you walk into a place, and they'll serve you interesting content there. Uber is obviously using location to estimate arrival times, manage supply and demand. And if you think about apps like WeChat, you can, within a single app, look up a place to go to dinner, see how busy it is there, order a car to take you there, see it coming to you. When you walk into the restaurant, the menu will pop up. So great apps like these are using location in creative ways to increase revenue, increase engagement, improve operations. We feel like most apps will be doing this in the near future. The problem is this stuff is really still too hard to build. So take a seemingly simple example. Let's say we're building a travel app and we want to send a push notification when a user lands at an airport in a new city. Seems like a relatively simple problem to solve. When you start to unpack it, you realize there's lots of moving pieces. So the first part is you need to build background location tracking on iOS and Android. There are cross-platform differences between the two platforms, which I'll talk about. You want to do this in an accurate way, but also in a battery-efficient way. It takes lots of trial and error to get this right. Second part is you need to acquire place data for geofences. So if you want to geofence airports or cities, you need to get that data, set it up, and that can take some time to do well. If you want to know if a user is traveling, some apps the user will tell you where they live, and so you can infer if they're traveling based on how far they are from home. But if not, you could potentially store sensor data history for the user and cluster it and learn where they live and where they work. But that takes some time to do well. And then all this stuff you need to test and maintain, right? So lots of trial and error to get this right. With every operating system release comes new features around location services, new limitations. Android O, for example, which is coming out in a few months, places all sorts of new interesting limitations on background location. Long story short, all this adds up to months of engineering time. If you want to do this well, it's just a total pain in the ass. And the same applies to other use cases as well, not just travel apps, but social apps, dating apps, food apps, and on the enterprise side, on-demand apps and delivery apps. And if you think about other similar technical challenges, there are generally great full-stack solutions available to developers. So you think about payments, there's Stripe. You think about analytics, there's companies like Amplitude or Mixpanel. You think about crash reporting, you just pop in Fabric and turn on Crashlytics. The same really can't be said for location. There are tools out there, but they aren't truly great full-stack developer tools. And that's what we're trying to build with Radar.